What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to RBL Weekly. It is week 20 of the 2024 season. I am the Roast Battle League Commissioner, Pat Barker, joined as always by the host and creator of the Roast Battle, Brian Moses. And Moses, we are tired.
The season's beating me down, Pat. It's a hell of a season. It's some of the greatest work we've ever done.
It's good stuff.
But it's
exhausting.
This is beating the shit out of me. I love it.
It's a special week. I'm podcasting in shorts again. It's been a while.
Okay.
Decided to, no, I didn't decide to do anything. I came straight from the airport. We were in Austin last night.
Yes.
And, yeah, we are disheveled. We are tired because we are coming off of the first ever RBL All-Star game, which was, dare I say, huge success.
I mean, those 5 All-Stars on either side, 10 overall. Shout out the Eastern Conference for winning, man.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Eastern Conference takes the All-Star game 3-2. We're going to try to get that video up as soon as possible on the Patreon for our members there, and then eventually on the YouTube. I think there's a little bit of controversy. I'm excited to see what the consensus is when people watch it, because the first battle of the night was very close. I felt like it should have gone one way. It went the other way. And at the time, you're like, all right, it's the first battle. But then when you see how it plays out, how it comes down to the final battle, who wins the MVP, there's all sorts of, I mean, I'll just say it. Shelley Gruenberg with the upset of the century, taking home the MVP award. I call it that because she's part of Team Atlanta, which has 1 point on the season. They've been kind of the laughing stock of the league, if we're being frank. And then she comes into Austin. She has a great opening battle with John Luna. She gets the judge's decision, and then the thing ends 3-2 East, and it's like, well, who was the star from their team? That she had the best battle. Next thing you know, she's our first ever All-Star Game MVP.
There's some controversy. You'll see when the video comes out, but I like how you're breadcrumbing there, Commish, with, we got Shelley's the MVP, the Eastern Conference wins. She's in the Eastern Conference. Atlanta, you're the most disappointing expansion city we've ever had, but you might have the best battler in the country. Right now, she looked the best out of all the All-Stars, and that was a hell of a show. That was a great show. One of the best shows I've ever seen in the 11-year history of the Roast Battle. Happy birthday, Roast Battle.
That's right. When this drops, we are on 11 years on the dot, celebrating the anniversary, July 23rd. Did you ever think it would get to this point and be worldwide?
I was hoping.
Yeah.
I was hoping. I wasn't hoping to be this old, but yeah.
I think a big step in the evolution was when we went from mentally challenged people exclusively, which is how the show started, with the first 2, and then we started allowing like actual, like normal people to join.
Well, you still have well, I'll say this, during the golden era in the 20-teens, the mental illness and those mixed well with really, really good comedians.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you guys were all great. Not saying that you have mental instability. I'm just saying that there's some guys who've been diagnosed even recently with some spectrum issues, and they're even like, had no idea. I thought I was just really good at putting puzzles together and writing jokes.
Yeah.
So
Shelley Gruenberg,
Mike Lawrence, Matthew Broussard.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a big crossover.
David Lucas said it because he was trying to bail himself out. There's a lot of people saying they have autism.
David Lucas was just losing a roast battle, so he's like, it's because I'm not autistic. I don't have the advantage. I'm not. It's the HGH of roast battle. Being on the spectrum.
It's a performance enhancer. We're not gonna get demonetized. We're gonna get
No, we're not. I'm gonna think positive this week. We're not gonna get demonetized. And that's what I'm sticking with. Then again, we have 7 battles coming up, and who knows what the hell they're gonna say. That could we could get fucked on any one of these because I haven't seen any of them. This is another week where
really?
I was running around doing all the commissioner stuff. We had 2 shows. My wife came to Texas with us for the first time, so I was trying to be a good husband. I'm trying to be the commissioner. I didn't have time to watch all the battles, so I'm relying on the ranking committee to get the job done. So I haven't seen any of them. I'm going to be watching them for the first time. Also, shout out to Patreon member Edgar Olvera, who helped us rank the battles this week. If you want to be part of the ranking committee, join on the Hall of Flame tier, and then just keep an eye on your DMs. We're going to make sure everybody gets a chance to rank these battles before the season ends, because we still have about 4 months left. We're We're trudging along. We're past the halfway point, but it's a long season, a lot of ways to go. But who is going to make a move today? Will we see one of our international East cities finally make a move in that division? Or will it be just like the last month? Let's find out. Let's jump right into it. With the number 7 battle this week, and this comes to us from the International West. This comes to us from Scotland with one of the top 4 roast battlers in the world in 2023, Ryan Cullen. The MVP from Scotland went to the World Championships. This is his 8th appearance on the podcast, one behind Shalaka Corrupt for the most in the history of the show. You've certainly seen him a bunch. His opponent is someone, I think she only battled once last season. I thought she was great. Glad to see that she's back. Her name is Kate Hammer. It's Ryan Cullen. It's Kate Hammer. Here it is.
Let's roast! Fuck yes!
Ryan looks like a gentrified golem. He calls his Prince Albert my precious. Ryan Cullen often gets mistaken for Slender Man's inbred cousin, Virgin Grandpa. Ryan is like Caillou if Caillou grew up to be a neo-Nazi. That's right, Ryan Cullen is a millennial Hitler, but with worse political views and a smaller penis. Ryan looks like the kind of guy who makes a TikTok series called Porn Time for Toddlers. Yeah.
It's popular.
Yeah. Ryan looks like Moby if instead of making music, he made mistakes. And finally, you look like Joe Biden now. Just present day Joe Biden.
Okay. Well, this enormous cunthole of a woman is Kate. Kate looks like she's pretending to be a girl so she can be drafted into an intergalactic bowling championship. Yeah. Kate looks like the only whore in Barbie Land.
The only whore?
That I know of. Kate says she's a bottom with big top energy, which is funnily describes where she is in the comedy ladder. Kate's pronouns are she/there, presumably. I only use they/there because I really hope that she slashes their wrists.
Lovely to meet an ally. Lovely.
Right. I'm done with that one.
Ryan recently had a worry about having jaw cancer. There's absolutely nothing funny about that because it turned out to be benign. Oh, yeah. When will Ryan take the hint and grow a fatal tumor? God wants you to die. This is not a test, Ryan. This is not a chance to make your life better. Die. Oh, you guys didn't like that. All right. Do you know why it's called a tumor? Because we all hope Ryan gets 2 more. And if you thought it being too harsh, just know that Ryan's jokes are completely tasteless, much like someone missing their lower jaw because of cancer. Okay.
It's in my saliva gland. That's perfect.
Do it, the Grim Reaper's getting tired, man. When they removed the tumor, the doctor sighed and said, it's not even the worst thing that's come out of this guy's mouth, you know? All right.
Okay. Kate grinds her teeth in her sleep because sometimes she forgets to turn off her vibrator. Yep. Kate grew up on a goat farm. Yep. She comes from a long line of throat goats. Yeah, you don't want to know. Kate looks like she wears a chastity belt to keep herself fucking her cats. Kate is in the midst of a visa battle to stay in the UK. She just needs someone to put up with her until she gets citizenship and year 3 and counting. You go.
Great. Ryan is pale.
Yeah, that's...
Emaciated and with a shaved head. But Ryan, just because you look like you're in one, it doesn't mean you're allowed to make your career out of concentration camp jokes. He says them, not me. Also, choose your lane. Are you in a camp or running it? All right. Look, you can't do both. Ryan is a one-liner comedian, which means that's all The Guardian will ever write about them. With Ryan, that line will be, died as he lived, choking himself while jacking off to Funko Pops.
That's the most offensive thing I've ever had said about me. Funko Pops.
Yeah, Funko Pop dolls. You know those things? Ryan has loved comedy ever since he was a child. And he hopes that if he has kids of his own, they'll also enjoy comedy. You know, like knock, knock. Who's there? Child Protective Services. Your dad wanked himself to death.
I'm as bald as Kate's diary. Kate gets paid less than most men doing the same job because she's shit.
That's true. That's true.
Kate's Fringe show is on Stand 5. If you want to know how bad Stand 5 is, there's only one. Kate was the only kid in her grade 7 class that didn't make the basketball team. And that's what we're saying. You lot cannot play with the men's team.
It's so great we're ending on the absolute worst ones. I love that for us.
I'm going to add some more in, because I'm losing some people here. And I will definitely lose them the next one.
Ryan looks like an egg. So much that in high school, Ryan was voted most likely to be an omelet. Oh, we're getting silly now. All right. You didn't like the cancer? Well, you like this. This guy looks so much like an egg. Every Easter he hides in bushes, hoping a child will touch him. Wait, Ryan, if you're here, what did I shove up my ass this morning and crush to test my anal muscles are big and strong? An egg. Okay. Ryan's a huge incel, but being an alt-writer was a natural outlet for Ryan. Because the man always orders whites only. That's an egg joke. Ryan's head is smooth and shiny. Not saying he looks like a crystal ball, but an old woman did once rub his head and predict he'd die alone, jacking off his wrinkly little penis with his last words being, Stalin was misunderstood.
Okay. Kate says she grew up in the place known as the meth capital of Canada, her grandmother's house. Kate looks like every third person in Starship Troopers. Somehow, despite all the odds, Kate's voice is more annoying than her haircut. Kate describes herself as queer, which a couple of letters more than the word I would have used. Kate was such an attention seeker that her parents used to feed her placebos to help with her non-existent stomach problems. Jesus Christ. Are we sure they weren't puberty blockers?
A lot of people like to fuck 13-year-old boys, I'll tell you that much. Ryan's dad was part of the IRA, the instant regret about having a son. Ryan's dad once killed a dolphin. He doesn't hate mammals, he just saw bald and thought it was Ryan. Ryan said his dad attacked a dolphin. That's true. Dude, that was your mom, okay? Not calling your mom marine life, it's just that your dad definitely fucked a fish. Ryan has been hit by 7 cars, 7 different cars. He just has one of those faces, you know? And now so do all those cars embossed in their hoods. Great. Ryan takes medicine for PTSD. Pretty tiny stinky dick. And one last one. Ryan is so sick that his cum is like a tiny dick cough, filling his girlfriend with dust. He then rolls over and says, "Thank you for flying Ryanair." Thank you.
Kit looks like she's 20% Carmex, 80% yeast infections. Her vagina contains all the ingredients for a cheese tuna sandwich.
It's a cost of living crisis, guys.
Kate looks like someone drew Ruby Rose from memory, but the person had Alzheimer's. You could easily mistake Kate for an American because she's getting fat.
Commit to it, Ryan.
Kate's parents are very disappointed big time, and you see, they're old-fashioned from good stock. They made their way in this world and worked hard for it. All they wanted was like a normal daughter, to carry on her legacy, carry on their legacy, and to make something for herself in this world, and carry on the family legacy and all that. The last thing that they wanted and needed was like, a spastic. That's me done.
There we go.
So that was the number 7 battle this week. Ryan Cullen and Kate Hammer. As always, we do not watch 7, 6, and 5 here in the studio. We will pick it up when we get to the top 4. So we didn't see that battle. What do you think?
Welcome back, Ryan Cullen.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if we just had told people this whole time that we watch, 7, 6, and 5. And then they'll be like, they don't even be watching those. They don't be watching those. And they're like episode 100, we don't actually watch 7, 6, and 5. Everybody.
I think we could get away with that for a while.
We could have.
I think knowing that that's like a white guy and like a white woman, we could have been like, oh, I really liked it. Dude, his joke about her being a Karen.
I didn't understand it because he's Scottish.
Right. But
or
I think
he's Irish, actually.
He's Irish.
My
yes.
bad, my man. I would
exactly.
never do that again.
Dude, they get upset about that. Hugh Peacock, who reps Roast Battle London, I think all I said was, these are 2 of my favorite British battlers, meaning part of the British team. And I got a DM where it's like, I can't let any of my friends see that. Like, that's an insult that you called me British. I'm Irish. How dare you?
Oh, yeah, no, they hate the British.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hugh Peacock. Yeah, I saw that in the comments. Somebody was like, the biggest insult was somebody calling Hugh Peacock a Brit.
Exactly. So apologies. I didn't. I just meant you're playing for the British team. You moved there, so that's on you. If you want to be recognized as Irish, move to Ireland. I don't know what to tell you.
Wow, that was the most American thing I've ever heard you say. That was so. If you want to be African, move to Africa. I don't know what to tell you.
I think it was a little bit different than that, but
you're right. Ireland's a country. It's not a continent like Africa. I don't really know which country I come from because of that whole. Let's get into the
number 6 battle this week comes to us from the Bay Area. This is a battle between, again, a guy we've seen quite a bit. Drew Schaefer, saw him a few weeks ago.
Oh, hey.
We love Drew. I think it's his 3rd appearance of the season, and he's going up against a guy that I don't think we've seen on the podcast before. I've seen his name a bunch. I know he battles a bunch, but I think this is his RBL Weekly debut. Tyler Kantu. It's the number 6 battle this week from the Bay Area. Drew Schaefer, Tyler Kantu. Here it is.
All right. Hey, I'm very excited to be battling the nerd emoji tonight. Yeah, let's get this out of the way. Drew's obviously very white. He grew up very sheltered too, so he's never had a lot of culture in him. In fact, the most culture he's ever had in him is his Indian wife's tongue in his ass. So Drew's so white that he can't eat his wife's pussy because he says it's too spicy. It's more like vindaloo than tikka masala. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna steal that. As you've noticed, Tyler wears his hat backwards. He always wears his hat backwards. It makes sense. He doesn't need to wear it forwards because there's nothing bright in his future. I just see fucking lights right now. Drew was in an abstinence club in high school. He was promising not to have premarital sex, and I think it's adorable looking like that he thought he had a choice. He's so innocent. He's a golden retriever, which is ironically what he lost his virginity to at 20. So it's cute. You should really stop wearing the hat. Your ears are so fucked up looking. Like, literally at this point, you're starting to look like a gremlin that happens if you give your Mogwai monster after midnight, you know? Drew used to be a math teacher, which is not surprising. But he also used to drink and rap during his lessons. So there's a whole group of kids out there that do math like Terrence Howard. But his students gave him a cool rapper name. They called him Feminem. The little Dick Shady, you know what I mean? Tyler's an electrician. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys can tell. Yeah, he's an electrician, which explains why his favorite sexual position is getting paid. I know, shocker, right? Yeah. For Tyler, it's just all in the stink. Just all in the stink. I work all the time, man, you know? Drew comes off very nice and friendly, which is a little unsettling because he's got the same persona as the world's best serial killers. So he comes off a little John Wayne gayish to me. Or with those crazy teeth, I'd call him Jeffrey Chomper. I don't know. Take your pick. You're safe. You're not hot enough. I wouldn't. I already got Bush Light in my fridge. I don't need your head in there too. I just want to talk shit about Tyler. I love this guy, I really do. That's what I love about Roast Battle. This is one of my good buddies. The last time we hung out, Tyler ate an entire row of Oreos and then threw up all over the place. Which is so fucking wild, because I talked to his football buddies, and they said that he never gags when he swallows black things spilled with cream. Why do you think I started in college, man? Like, that's it. That's 4. Come on, guys. Give it up.
All right, so that was number 6. Drew Schaefer, Tyler Kantu, the Bay Area, clinging on for dear life for second place in that American West Division. They pick up 2 more points this week, and this is what we call a teaser. They're not done.
Ooh.
They're not done. We're going to see more of the Bay Area coming up. But let's just keep it moving right now so we can get through this and then watch some battles in the studio. The number 5 battle, and this seems to be a theme this week. One person that we've seen a bunch, one person that's pretty much brand new. Adam Gilland, one of the big stars from Denver last season. You know, had a great record, was on the podcast a few times, you know, came into this season as one of the MVP favorites. This season has not gone quite the same way for him. Adam Gilland standing at 1-4 on the season after this battle, where he took a loss to someone that I believe this is her roast battle debut. I could be wrong about that. It's the first time I've seen her name. Her name is Hannah Jones. And this was one that the ranking committee, a couple of them really, really liked this one. And it could have maybe gone higher. From everything I've heard, this was a pretty good week. So it sounds like this was a hell of a battle. And I think you're going to enjoy it. It's number 5 this week. Adam Gilland and Hannah Jones. Here it is.
Hannah, thank you for taking a break from writing a strongly worded letter to a congressman with menstrual blood to be here tonight. I was doing some research on Hannah's online profiles before tonight, and it's pretty cool. I didn't know that OnlyFans accepted library cards, so that was...
Thank you, Empire Date Rape Building. Adam has a long-distance girlfriend. That's just what he calls his mom when she leaves the room. Hey, don't laugh. He has to bend down really far to breastfeed.
Oh, thank you, Marilyn Monroe v. Wade. It's kind of crazy seeing Hannah up on stage with a microphone and not outside of a Chick-fil-A with a megaphone. I found out Hannah's full-time job is she manages Robert E. Lee's Tumblr. That's she does.
It's was really an honor to be in this battle because Adam is a champion roaster. He's one of the best battlers to ever come out of Alabama. He puts the hard R in roast. I think he's only ever been defeated by a strong gust of wind.
You bitch. Okay. All right. Guys, Hannah's vagina is a lot like a ham sandwich. It seems like an exciting thing to try, but I think I would only do it if my mom was around to cut the crust off.
Adam is like a paper straw, you know, long and limp, and nobody's choking on it. Oh, I forgot to say, thank you, Abraham Twinken.
God, I am afraid to show women my penis because it looks just like Hannah with alopecia. So Hannah actually has a relationship podcast, which is in the business, they call that a red flag. She mentioned that she is a pro ghosting on there, which is when the pale bitch is on top.
Thank you, Bill Nye the hentai guy. I've made a lot of gay jokes, but to be clear, Adam likes girls, women too sometimes, and his huge ears make him a great listener. I think the only thing he can't hear is, no, stop.
Oh my God, shouldn't you be shotgunning an Olipop at a Barnes & Noble or something? Oh my God. Guys, Hannah kind of looks like what crawls out from under your seat halfway through an A24 movie to make sure you're still paying attention.
Thank you, trans Caitlin Clark. Adam is such a nerd, you know. His search history is like a Harvard admissions office, by which I mean a lot of Asian teens.
That was number 5, Adam Gilland, Hannah Jones. Now we can watch some battles here in the studio. And let's jump right into the top 4. And we start with the leader, not only in the American East Division, but in RBL as a whole.
Oh.
The points leader in the entire league, New York City. New York, who gave us 2 All-Stars that repped last night. You know, Andrew Manning picking up a big win at the Mothership over Nate Welch to help the East win the All-Star game. Eric Asker taking a loss in a very hotly contested overtime battle with Deep Tanshu Ja.
New York showed up.
New York did show up.
New York showed the fuck up.
And one of these guys is in this battle. The top New York guys have been getting very, very active. We saw Malia Simon, you know, last week in a championship battle. She lost. A lot of times you see people lose a championship battle and they take some time off. She's battling this week. They are just their top guys are just really, really going at it. So this is the number 4 battle this week. This is Eric Asker, 2024 RBL All-Star, going up against Devin Bramble. Let's check it out.
I was born in it.
I can go first. All right. It's an honor to be here roasting this bouncer at a gospel concert. No, but I am really happy to be here roasting Devin and not seated next to him on an airplane.
Guys, I am so happy to be here battling the tallest lesbian in the tri-state area. He's like 2.5 Ellen DeGeneres. It's unheard of.
Thank you, Steve Harvey Weinstein.
Eric is... Eric, don't jump the gun now. Eric is so gross that he can't get a blowjob at a truck stop glory hole. So he leans over the stall and sucks his own dick.
It's impressive.
Glad you got that one out.
The hood fucked with it.
Thank you. Thank you, Return of the Big Mac. Doesn't Devin dress like he just came from representing himself in court? Your Honor, let the record show it said all you can eat.
Eric's just mad at fat kids because we'd bully him in elementary school. We'd shoot him in the air using the seesaw, then yell, "Look, a flying."
Well, now we're getting demonetized.
Eric, thank you for being here, taking a break from cutting yourself with your Boy Scout pocket watch. He can't hurt you anymore. You're safe. Eric actually, he says every word to the song Niggas in Paris, but he crosses the street when he says niggas in public.
I know that didn't hit, but you guys don't. That joke is actually based on a novel by Sapphire. Yes. I learned a lot about Devin for this roast. Did you guys know if you jump up and down on his stomach, it won't spill the wine on the other side of him?
That's a good reference.
Listen, man, his mom, not only does his mom love my stomach, she loves my appetite. She had vaginal cancer, and I sucked that shit out of her pussy like boba. What the fuck? I knew that would be weird. I did it anyway. Eric, if you're here, who's molesting children in your lair under the Brooklyn Bridge?
I like Devin. I do. Every time I see him, I say hi. He says, "Hey, hey, hey."
Classic.
But I do like him. So I want to say at least one sincere thing while we're up here. Devin, I saw the documentary. I think it's atrocious the size of the tank they keep you in at SeaWorld. When you transport him, you have to keep him wet or he dies. It's true.
Thank you, Kurt Cobain, if he lived to see fentanyl. He actually lost his virginity to his first girlfriend, who then promptly cheated on him with his dog. He could never look his Lola Bunny doll in the eye again after that.
Last joke.
Thank you, Shaquille, the whole meal. I feel like Devin orders McDonald's like a black preacher. You know, he's like, "Can I get a number 9? Did somebody say large fries? Let me hear you say large fries."
Eric and I are both, we're both sort of minorities in a way, so we compete for a lot of the same shows. It sucks that both black and comics have to fight for one spot.
All right, number 4 battle this week, Eric Asker, Devin Bramble. Shout out to Eric Asker for winning the battle, and to Devin Bramble for making sure that YouTube pulls this episode down as soon as it goes up.
He was definitely bowling for the turkey with slurs.
F word, an R word. What else? Is sucking something out of a pussy,
cancer
like
out of his mom's vagina,
like boba.
She has vaginal cancer, yeah, like boba. He's the definition of putting a hat on a hat when it comes to joke writing.
Yeah,
you don't have to do all that.
Yeah,
you know, I'll reference one of our favorite battlers, Guan Felix from RBL LA. He used to do that thing a lot, where it was this: I'm gonna do something so weird they're gonna laugh. And when you have charisma and stage presence and stand-up, that works, not in a joke writing contest.
Yeah.
Right? Like Eric and Malia and the Dave Sheehans and the John Ajodas and the Andrew Mannings of the world, like Dan Wicks of the world, they all take it very seriously because it is just like a writing exercise.
Yes.
You know, so if you come at it like it's stand-up, you can rest maybe 1 or 2 jokes on your charisma. But it's probably a 5 to 7 joke thing out there, and 9 jokes when it comes to New York's case. It's like you're gonna get sliced up.
Yeah, I mean, he was very likable, and it made for a fun battle.
Yeah, he's like Brown Suge Knight.
It's yeah, I mean, Eric here's what I'll say about Eric. After watching him last night against Deep Tanchu and then here against Devin Bramble, if you put him against a minority, he will do an impression of their voice several times.
I didn't know that.
Throughout the battle.
It's very funny.
He did like 3 different black voices in there, and like he
hey,
did,
hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, who's gonna get
Can
that
I get
reference?
a large fry?
Right. The black preacher, yeah.
Yep.
But he does it in such a way it doesn't feel offensive.
No.
Right? Like he's not like leaning into like I'm gonna do he makes it very specific.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's if you want to do some slur jokes or some blackface jokes, everybody, you just got to make it specific, and the specificity kind of takes the edge off a little bit. You're not generalizing all these people are like this, quote unquote.
Yeah, absolutely. Him and it was funny to watch, and I don't want to break down a battle other than the one we just watched, but him and Deep last night was great. Where like Eric was like attacking Deep's like accent. And then every time Deep would rebut, he wouldn't even have to rebuttal it. He would just speak in that voice.
Right.
And the crowd liked it so much that it kind of took the sting out of Eric being like, isn't that a dumb voice? The crowd was like, no, we actually think it's cool.
Yeah. Deep does this thing where it's like Nate does with his pun play.
Yeah.
He wants you to talk about the accent because he's going to have 30 jokes to rebut that, and he's so likable. They're going to be like, yeah, keep making fun of him because we don't like you anymore.
Yeah. I mean, they had a great one last night. That was a great one there. Eric Asker putting up a hell of a season. 4-1, been on the podcast, I think 3 times now. It's been a really, really nice season for him so far as he continues to lead New York. They came in leading the whole thing. They pick up 4 more points today. Will that be enough to maintain their lead over LA, or do we have more to come, and will we see Los Angeles later in the countdown? I don't know. I have no idea. We'll find out. But let's keep it moving right now with the number 3 battle this week. And this comes to us from the city we just left, Austin, Texas. This is a guy that we saw a few weeks ago for the first time named Alden Schaub, who had a really fun battle against Trey Pack on here. And he's going up against a guy that I've never seen perform before, so I'm very excited about this. It's the number 3 battle this week. It's Alden Schaub versus Dane Lyon. Here it is.
All right, guys, give it up for Duck Sauce Dynasty. For a living, Alden is a trivia host. Hey, Alden, I got a trivia question for you. What can't wash all their body parts and gets territorial at the Golden Corral?
That would be Mrs. Lyons.
Oh, that's such a good rebuttal.
They're doing the dance.
Yep. Oh, he's proud of himself. Look at this.
You guys are animals. Calm down. Walk. Dane looks like Butters from South Park if he grew up to be a lesbian.
That's fair. Every time you cough, you have to wipe. Alden is the first man to need an epidural just to shit.
I'm pretty regular, guys. Yeah, Dane lives in a small apartment with his girlfriend and his cat. That's not a lot of room for 3 huge pussies.
This guy.
He blows his own jokes, man. Look at this fucking guy. Looks like Chappelle slapping his leg with the mic.
God, I wish you didn't look like that. Alden is $10,000 in credit card debt. How much do string cheese nunchucks actually cost?
I have to fact check you there, Dane, but I owe that to the IRS. Yeah, when Dane gets road rage, he swears like a racist old Southern lady. Peas and rice. Stop washing my car, you snickerdoodle.
You know, just for that, I want to give him a little cookie. Here's a Nutter Butter for my little buddy. It's always good to give positive reinforcement. You never know when he's going to snap and get bite my neck. dropping a yoga ball.
Oh man, that's good.
That's Steve. Wherever he goes, he sees balls. Dane likes watching amateur porn. He likes it so amateur they can't tell he's filming.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Thank you, Olive Garden Gnome. Hey, Alden, you know what's funny about your name is that you've never said it in a buffet. Oh, done. Yeah, I fuck my cat.
Yeah, I might be fat, but at least I don't have cat dad bod, so. Dane's the kind of guy you hear about in the news, you think, man, he's such a nice guy. I can't believe he had a trunk full of orphan bones.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but your heart's gonna stop soon.
Get up for Dane.
So that was the number 3 battle this week, coming to us from Austin, Texas. Alden Schaub versus Dane Lyon. Checked all of the Texas boxes. A lot of friendly back and forth riffing, and one of them was very fat.
Yeah, all the stereotypes were checked. Dane, that was a great debut.
Yeah.
He's got a cool style. I'm seeing this between him and Ryer and Grant Adcock. There's this weird little... It's got a Denver-ness to it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a silliness to it. It's but it's vicious still, like more so than Denver is. Denver's like silly till it strangles you. Like that's kind of like death by 1,000 cuts of like silly string or whatever the fuck. It's just it's fun. Like that kid reminds me of Grant Adcock a lot. Just shaved and probably more chromosomes.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have. It's so funny because I'm sure we've talked about this before, but like the juxtaposition between like half of their battlers are just like trying to say like the edgiest, craziest shit you can imagine, and then the other half are like just supremely silly, like Lucas McCrary. And dude, the Lucas McCrary Liz Splat battle last night was absolutely. I didn't know how to process that mentally. I didn't even know what was going on the entire time.
Only circus acts things like that. Zach Amico's one of the judges. He is a supreme circus act. He runs the Naked Roast battle at Skankfest, and he's also doing the Juggalo
the
show.
Gathering of the Juggalos.
Oh my God, he's awesome.
Lifelong dream for him.
He's the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, he loves things like that, and I was so annoyed by that battle yesterday, but that was still very funny.
I think if it didn't happen 2 hours into the show, it would have been a little bit better.
Maybe.
But you know, this was somewhere in the middle. I mean, Dane definitely had almost sort of like a cartoony, like game show host kind of delivery, but it wasn't. I was gonna say he wasn't really big on antics. He did give the guy a cookie.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Okay,
it's fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Alden laughing at his own jokes cracks me up. He genuinely, every time he hits a joke and the crowd laughs, he's just like, oh yeah, that is funny. I forgot that when I wrote that's great. He's very likable on stage. Hit the rebuttal right out of the gate about like, Dane's wife being actually the fat one.
Right.
I would imagine Austin is going to become the roast battle capital for the best fat jokes and the best fat rebuttals, because we saw on that early show last night, 80% of the Austin battlers are obese.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So I would imagine they all have a bunch of like rebuttals on deck for that, because Lord knows you're going to hear a lot of those kind of jokes.
It's like they're 3D printing morbidly obese people out there.
Yeah.
But they're really good joke writers and really good performers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, that is the best show we do is RBL Austin. That was a hell of a showcase. When you guys see that episode, you're going to see like RBL Austin. They send some more battles in, like they'd probably be higher on the scoreboard.
They've been doing a good job this year sending battles in. I got to give a lot of credit to Adam Lucky. He's doing. Look, they just happen to be in the toughest division in the entire league.
Right.
If you put them in the International East, they're up by 10 points for the lead. Instead, they're in last in the American West. But they're sending the battles in. The battles are fun. They've brought some newer people this year. That was the thing last year where it's like, oh, we got to get some newer guys. And already this year, there's guys coming out like Scott Fillmore and Colton Jones and all these people we saw at the Mothership who didn't have an opportunity to perform there last year, who are really fucking funny and they're good. And I think that I think that Austin, what?
I just wanted to say, I was like, yeah, it was like Adam Lucky, when he lifted the restrictor plate and said, all right, we don't have to have a 200-pound weight limit anymore.
Adam Lucky is one of the most in-shape Austin comics.
It's wild,
which is crazy. Yeah. Everyone on that show, it was wild, but man, was it fun. And everything they send is fun. Them and Denver, you're right. Those are the ones you can always count on to be fun. Even if the beautiful thing about that is like, if these guys, let's say somebody drops out, you got to pair two people up on 3 hours notice. In a more like writers heavy city like New York, I think that would be a problem because it's like, I only have 3 hours to write 5 great jokes. In Austin, they're like, we'll fucking figure it out. We'll go on stage and have fun up there.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work out, we'll say some kind of fun slur.
Yeah. I didn't have any slurs this time.
No, that was good. That reminded me of Denver, more or less. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. We leave all the slurs on this show to Devin Bramble in New York.
He knocked it out of the park in that first one.
We let one black guy battle one time, and he just says all the crazy shit.
Yeah, just get brambling.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep it moving right now with the number 2 battle, and this comes to us from Chicago. Chicago trying desperately to catch New York in that American East Division. They're going to pick up a couple of points on them this time. New York only gets 4. I feel like New York's been in the top 3 every week for like 2 months now. They finally dropped to the 4 spot. Chicago slots in at number 2. And this is a battle, again, between someone we've seen a whole bunch, Tito, who was their champion last year. We saw him many, many times on the countdown last year. And he's going up against somebody that I don't know that we've seen here before. I think this is her first appearance. Courtney Albers. So this is the number 2 battle this week from Chicago. Tito, Courtney Albers. Here it is.
Oh yeah, guys, give it up for Pirates of the Puerto Rican. Pirates of the Puerto Rican. I love you, Tito. He's the only Hispanic that you're not worried about taking your job. Tito's so broke, one time we went out drinking, and then afterwards, he wouldn't give me a ride home, but when I called an Uber, he picked me up. That's a true story. I was like, I know you're drunk.
Oh yeah, if Courtney looks familiar, it's because she looks like every white woman that's been kicked out of a Target.
They said it was on sale.
She's the captain of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Bangs. She looks like Monica Lewinsky sucked her own dick.
Damn, bro. Whatever, dude. You look like you can dance better than you can read.
He does look like that.
Battle. There we go.
Sir, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule of selling crystals to white women. You spooky bitch. You look like a crow's about to perch on your shoulder at any moment.
I don't know your dress size, bitch, but it looks cozy. This bitch look like a stack of pancakes right now, Gina. You look like a TV anchor if it was just the anchor.
Whatever, dude. I know we're being rude. Tito majored in Spanish in college. I was like, wait, you majored in what you are? What did you minor in? Being a weird 40-year-old?
Yeah. And she majored in film at Columbia. And back in 2006, she actually went mega viral. I don't know if you caught it. It was her and her friend sharing a cup.
Hell no!
I haven't heard a 2 girls, 1 cup joke in a while.
Battle for 2 girls. Tito, you look like you still think 3-way kisses are cool.
I do.
When Tito hits on tall women, he goes, "Damn girl, I want to climb you like the border wall."
Courtney was born in February, so she's a Pisces, and she uses that as an excuse why her pussy smell like that.
What does that mean?
Fishy.
Hey, she liked it. She liked it. $20 is $20. All right, let's go.
Tito calls himself a landlord. I'm like, you're just in charge of mowing the lawn. It's called landscape, Tito.
That's rich coming from someone with Harry Carey glasses. Side note, Harry Carey is what her husband calls it when she's on top. That's a Harry. Would you eat it? I'd eat it.
Thank you, Eduardo Scissorhands.
Thank you, Roseanne Barge.
That's joke. Wow, dude. So fucking rude.
Let's go.
Tia looks like an art teacher that would volunteer himself as the nude model.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Courtney lived in Wuhan, ironically. She lived in Wuhan and she was 300 pounds and the locals called her white whale. Yeah. Not because of the weight, but because she let a whole crew of fishermen get a stab at it. You know? Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Damn it, dude. You look like the Richard Simmons of the cartel. You're just doing workouts in the Home Depot?
She's something my people would pray to. She's the queen of the Ozempics.
You look like a witch doctor that didn't graduate. Bitch.
You look like a stepmom that doesn't fit into a laundromat.
That hurt a little bit.
You got any more, or are we done here?
Yes, we're done.
Yeah? You got it?
We're done.
I think we're good.
Are you guys good? Tito actually means uncle. And his last name is Jorda Sid, which means not invited to the quinceanera.
Courtney puts the bitch in barbiturates. She got married and became a real housewife of Beverly's Pills.
All right, give it up for these two, you guys. What a fantastic.
Okay. Number 2 this week, Tito versus Courtney Albers. First of all, you've been unseated as the most awkward host with knowing when the battle ends. I've never seen a host just be like, do you guys want to keep going, or what do you guys want to do?
Shout out Steph. That was great.
That was crazy. Yeah, Stephanie's like, I'm not getting in the middle of this. This is you guys do whatever you want to do. Awkward at times, hilarious at times. Tito, I love the way he fucking plays along there. The dancing, you dance better than you read, is very, very funny. When she said, did you minor in being a weird 40-year-old?
Oh.
Just so simple and hilarious. That was my first time seeing Courtney. I was impressed. I thought she was good.
She does that thing that you love, which is take the essence out of somebody. It was a lot of you look like on both sides, but man, they were a tad below the surface with even that basic premise of you look like kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I thought she was, that was a really, has she been on this? I feel like she's been on this before.
I don't think so. Normally, I would be more well prepared for this podcast, but you know, I was literally doing this in an airport bar at 10:30 a.m. While
you work hard,
pounding Lone Stars. Yeah, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
Fears and battles, man.
Yeah, I'm like updating like records and shit, and it was insane. But no, I don't think she's been on the podcast before. I could be wrong about that. I thought she was really funny. I thought that there were ups and downs in the battle. I thought that the ups were pretty high up. I thought it ended on kind of a low note. But, you know, Tito is just like an entertaining guy. He had a couple of really good jokes, too. Eduardo Scissorhands I thought was funny. The thing I didn't get was I don't think she's fat enough to hit that many fat jokes.
But that's your rule.
If she weighs more than him, he can get away. But all right, let me make an addendum to the rule.
Mm-hmm.
You could only get away with it if the audience buys it.
Were they buying it?
I didn't feel like they were.
Right.
I felt like the audience was like, she's not heavy.
Yeah, I don't think it was hitting that tough. And she and if she is, she wears it well because she's tall, and she was even saying that, like you sound like, you're one of those guys who's like, oh, you're so tall, I climb you kind of a thing. I mean, she was nailing him. I mean, she had some really good stuff. Yeah, she's not that big, but I think maybe up close because we're not there. Maybe she is. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
You would think the camera adds 10 pounds. I don't know where it was.
We're watching on like a 15-inch TV in the studio here. There's not, it can be tough to tell. So I don't know. Maybe she's enormous. You didn't look it on the thing. You look great. I don't know. And
she did a thing where she was kind of like in control, but then Tito, because he's such a Riz master, he kind of controlled it as well. It was I've never really seen that before where they're both kind of not even doing the dance with each other, but they're both separately doing the dance well.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, Tito's dancing. Doing his thing, talking to the audience. Right, let's go. Like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, it's like one of those...
$20. Like, what are you talking about?
He was definitely... He was into it. And I think that's what makes him so good. And you saw it in person. You were there for the championship match with him versus Brandon Kiefer, right?
He's hard to beat.
He's very hard to beat. He's naturally charismatic. He's having fun up there. It's hard not to, enjoy somebody like that. I would like to see him battle Alden Schaub in a battle of who can react more to their own jokes.
Oh, that's so funny.
That would be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll set that up on a future show.
Dude, her opening joke about the Uber.
Oh, yeah. Also really good. Yeah.
Man. I mean, out of the gate, I was like, okay. And then she kept going. I was like, I thought she had control, but then there was a point I think he took back over. I think when he started dancing.
Yeah, dancing will always. I got to learn how to dance.
You got to get those hips going, man.
I know. Someday. Let's keep it moving and go to the number one battle. We're exhausted. Let's wrap this fucking thing up.
Bad dancing, yeah. What is this podcast?
Yeah, this is not a good episode. I apologize. We'll be better next week. But I'll tell you what is great. This battle, and I know this battle's great, even though I didn't watch anything this week, we know this one's great because we were in the room for it. I judged it. You hosted it. It's in LA. It's LA versus the Bay. It's our number one battle this week. And it features one of the Bay Area's best battlers, Logan Far. We've seen him on the podcast a bunch of times. He's always here. He's always having entertaining battles. Coming down from the Bay Area to the Comedy Store in LA to go up against Tom Goss. Tom Goss is a guy, he was one of the best battlers in 2014, 15 when I first started coming around, and then he disappeared. He was gone for about 8 years, and he just recently resurfaced, and he wants to go on this run and face a whole bunch of people, and he lined up all these battles, and his first one back, he was shaking off the rust a little bit, and this was his second one, and boy, the rust is gone.
Max Muncy just knocking him out of the park.
Absolutely. That's a great comp, by the way. Tom Goss representing LA going up against Logan Far from the Bay Area. It's the number one battle this week. Here it is.
Battle! Come on! Battle! Yeah! Battle! Let's roll!
All right, Logan is obsessed with MMA, which for him stands for My Missing Ankles.
Keep it going for the white Mike Wazowski. Tom's into bird watching only because he already had binoculars to try and find his penis. Doesn't Tom look like he only watches the black birds, though? Like, you watch too many of those guys gather, it's gonna turn into a murder.
That's a really good smart bird joke. That's funny. You may recognize Logan from being brave in a credit union commercial. Honestly, though, he served his country, and I really respect him for that. He's one of the few, the proud, part machines.
Doesn't it look like we both tried getting pussy on January 6th? We got winded. Tom, honestly, I wish you treated your hygiene like your comedy career and, washed up.
Logan loves Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's a conservative who loves Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or as he calls it, fucking Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, Tom's in the Muay Thai, and that's the art of using your knees and elbows to get that whistle away from that bitch.
Well, she should stop blowing it. You know, I've met people who look like their dogs, but Logan is starting to look like his furniture.
Tom Gauze, named after what he pours his chloroform on. To be fair, Tom talked about it. He's fat and suicidal. All that means is he has stretch marks on his belly and his neck.
That's great.
That's funny. Logan has a kid, and he teaches them their head, shoulders, never minds.
Fuck yeah. Speaking of kids, the government treats Tom's penis like a flavored vape. It's doing everything it can to keep it out of the hands of kids. Hey, you want to try the salted caramel?
You keep making fat jokes, but if I'm so fat, how come I'm the only guy on stage who can touch his toes?
Ozempic, Ozemcut.
Number one this week, a deserving number one, clear number one for me this week. LA, Tom Goss going up against the Bay Area's Logan Far. Really good stuff. Tom had some incredible jokes. The head, shoulders, never mind was a great closer. And then on top of that, he did this appropriately, the jiu-jitsu move where he rebutted something Logan never said. I don't think Logan made any fat jokes. And the closer, certainly, it was about, he called him a pedophile. And Tom's like, yeah, you keep calling me fat, but.
Oh, you're right. No, Logan he just kept calling him a pedophile.
Yeah.
And a rapist. Yeah.
And Tom's like, is this guy ever going to call me fat? I'm sitting on this thing. What am I supposed to do with this?
Oh, he did call him fat White Mazowski. Mike Mazowski, sorry.
Yeah. Dude, and the stretch marks joke, which was incredible. Mm-hmm. It may be the best joke of the battle, but Tom, more consistent, and just like the head shoulders thing was crazy.
That was great. That really flipped it. He was great, and there's a theme in this episode, I guess, with battlers laughing at their own jokes.
Yeah.
Logan Far was doing that. Tom didn't do that, and he would kind of just like roll off what he was saying, like, well, she just stopped blowing it. Just like, I love that, because that's when you start the dance kind of a thing. It's just like, all right, where we going with this? And then it's the salutations of thank you, this person, thank you, that person.
Yeah.
But this was fun. This had everything. It had the wordplay with fucking jujitsu. It had some great jokes with head, shoulders, never mind. If I'm so fat, well, I'm the only guy who can touch their toes on stage.
How about Logan being like, doesn't it look like we both tried to get pussy on January 6th?
All-timer. That's an all-timer.
So
I never heard that one before. That was great. Because they do look like that.
Absolutely.
But we got winded.
Yeah. Fucking own it. Yeah. Turn it into a joke. Make fun of yourself. Logan is one of the best at that. Very few people in the history of this show have been better at taking what is like the obvious thing everybody's going to hit him on. And I wouldn't even say he's super effective in like strategically using it to rebuttal and win a battle. He's very, very, very good at making it okay for the crowd to laugh at it and making the battle better as a whole.
Yeah.
You know?
No, he's up. He's like Keith Carey in that sense of he's just there to have fun.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And welcome back, Tom Goss. You were a badass before you left, and now you're already back. You're getting number one battles of the week on the podcast. I mean, I don't know why you left. It's good to have you back.
Good to have him back. And he's got a lot more battles lined up. He's making up for lost time. Yeah. He's like, I want to battle everybody.
So we partnered with this like social betting app, which the way they get away with it is it's like skill betting or skill gaming. It's like gaming with your friends. So it's peer to peer. It's not like a bunch of people. It's like you with somebody else, right? Mm-hmm. It could be some stranger, like if you put a public bet out, or a friend of yours. If you say, hey, I got 10 on this person, I got 10 on that person, whatever the money line is. And we had that this weekend with this cut betting app. And Tom hit me up and he was just like, you guys have combined the two greatest things I love, betting and losing money.
Yeah. Do we have good news for you, buddy? There's plenty more of that to come. It was a successful launch of the roast battle on the Cut betting app. I saw like a lot of people. Of course, I can't dabble in that as a judge. That would be
You're a commissioner. You can't touch
a scandal like beyond. We've never seen anything like it.
The judges didn't know about it. I really appreciated that. This is mainly between the cities. Like RBL Cleveland and Denver were betting with each other. I know Austin and I think it was Kyle were betting against each other.
Yeah,
might not have been Kyle, but it was definitely whoever runs the RBL Cleveland page on Instagram. But yeah, they were going at it with they had their own bets. I know a couple other people did too. The creator of the app, he jumped in, lost all his money.
I love that. I love that. Good. Fuck them. Yeah. Thank you for creating an app that allows us to legally bet in California by exploiting a loophole. And if you want to lose some of your money on Roast Battle, we'll have more opportunities to do that. Make sure you follow at Roast Battle on Instagram. And I know you're the brains behind this betting thing. You're gonna get this. You're gonna make this into the biggest betting sport on earth. So
it's just peer to peer, guys. It's skill gaming, you know. You're supposed to be skilled at this. It's like poker.
It's more fun if you throw a couple bucks on it. Come on.
$10 on Tom Goss, $10 on Logan Far.
Yeah.
Who's gonna say the N word first?
You won't get a dick. Well, that's
prop bets.
Yeah, prop bets. Exactly. We'll get there. Like over under 9.5 slurs on a 7-battle episode of RBL Weekly.
Devin Bramble showing up.
Yes, exactly. Putting points on the board. Speaking of points on the board, let's look at the standings before we get out of here. You may notice that these graphics we're using are terrible. That's because these are the ones that I make because our primary graphics guy, Cullen, he just had his first child over the weekend. So congratulations to Cullen. Not quite as cool as the RBL All-Star game, but a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, RBL baby. Shout out Cullen. Thanks for doing everything, man. And take your paternity leave.
Yeah, take your leave, but we need you back next week. Look at this shit. It's terrible. We can't keep having graphics like
Canva?
This. What, the font?
Yeah, I mean like the whole thing.
I don't know. I use some free flyer maker. It's really bad. But let's check this out. In the West, in America, LA extends their lead. They're now at 90 points. The Bay Area scores a couple times this week, but still cannot make up the ground just yet on LA. They need to go on quite the run. Austin and Denver have been leapfrogging each other for those 3 and 4 spots. Austin back in the 3rd place position after this episode. Denver falls to 4th. Again, that 45.5, you'll see, would be pretty good pretty much anywhere else, but in the West, it's tough. As we move to the East right now, you see New York on top with 89, which means LA has taken a 1-point lead over New York for home field advantage in a potential American Championship match. Chicago right behind them at 73.5. They keep fighting. Cleveland with 9. Atlanta has the same number of All-Star Game MVPs and total points on the season, which is it's insane. It's completely insane what's going on down there, but I'm hoping that news of Shelley Gruenberg's heroics at the Mothership spread and they go on a run.
Tale the legend.
Exactly. Tell everybody about Shelley Gruenberg and what she's accomplished. And now let's take a look at the international side of things. Won't take long. Scotland got a point. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. The international side has been struggling recently, and they really have to pick it up because it's getting tough out here.
It's getting kind of hectic.
Yeah, but as we air this episode, London Knockout Tournament going on right now. Tokyo Roast Fest is coming up. Manchester, Edinburgh, a lot of cool things happening. That's it for this week. I'm excited to leave and go to sleep. Do you have anything to add?
Thank you, RBL Lady Commish, as Nate Welk calls her. The Lady Commish. Tiff, thanks for hanging out this weekend and letting us have him. That was awesome.
Yeah, good times. Thank you for creating this world where I somehow get to travel the world making fun of people. It's a really cool gig, and it wouldn't have been possible without you. So thanks, buddy.
I love you guys, man.
Hell yeah. We'll see you guys next week.